All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Andor, Season 2, Episode 12, the finale of the whole series.
The series is over.
Oh, I'm sad
this.
already, but this is going to be awesome.
I'm very, very sad.
Please give us more Star Wars content that is as good as this in the future. You know,
it will never happen.
I
think that it will happen, but I will probably have like kids by that point. Like I will be showing them Andor at that point.
Yeah.
But either way, what we have got thus far is a very, very fun special prequel that leads into this episode, which will probably lead into Rogue One, which will, also then lead into A New Hope, as it did.
Yep.
I am very excited to see what kinds of things in this episode are like new things for Andor as a series, like things that we've not seen thus far in the show. There's been a lot of things about Andor as a series that have been restrained from the typical Star Wars tropes and stuff. And because this is going to be the lead into Rogue One, I would love to see them like buck that trend a little bit, just to have some more like intensity, you know?
But also at the same time, this is the final episode, and we, like, what I thought would be wrapped up in the previous episode of, like, the immediate conflict, they left for this one, so...
They did. So we've just got some stormtroopers moving directly for Clea, Cassian, and Melch, so we just have to deal with that.
I want to see what happens to Dedra and Partagaz, though.
I want to see what happens to Dedra and the ISB stuff. I want to see how this blends in with things from Krennic's perspective. I want to see how this ties into just Yavin characters in general. But also, it would just be fun to see Cassian deciding how he's going to play his role to the utmost in the rebellion in a way that showcases the level of autonomy he has in the beginning of Rogue One.
Sure.
So,
Let's do this.
Big heavy burden on this episode, so good luck to us both, y'all.
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah, kid. Yeah. But all right, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this.
Drag me to this forsaken basement.
A little thing about Krennic. The way he, like, speaks, like, incorrectly, like, just works so well. Like, this forsaken basement. Like, it's not like he has a lisp, but it's like, he's like spitting and saliva, like, not swallowing in his words.
There's so much personality in how he talks.
I should be brave enough to go.
Yeah, we can follow up with Mon Mothma. Yeah. It's been a while since we've, like, she had kind of her finale moment here.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You can rest there.
As a prisoner.
As a hero. You need to see the place you helped build.
Wow. Yeah.
You need to tell them what you told us.
Just these three people. These three small people. They have everything.
It's not us, so it's a link transmit from the ship, so it's a bit confusing. With a tactical line failure.
Oh, I love it.
Let's go.
Yeah. Gotta say, that dude's mustache is fantastic.
Nice. They set weapons to stun. Yeah. Or no, those are their flashlights. Okay. They might have also done that too, though, but...
Yeah. See, they're not wearing their stormtrooper helmets to show that they're competent.
No sudden movements!
Oh.
Hold your fire.
Okay.
Where are you? Okay.
On his way.
Yeah.
Damn.
Done.
Stunner.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah, they're ready.
Yeah.
Crap. Just like that. Wow.
All right.
He's still going.
Okay. Yeah, because he was tucked behind the little out. Yeah.
Yeah. Just blind shooting, yeah. Hey, you've got a gun. Yeah. Kay's got a gun. Kay's got a gun.
Blooded! Get anything you can of it.
Oh, wow. The very excuse that they used for why they needed to get them is what's making it so hard to respond. That's poetic.
Don't come any closer! I'm not telling you!
Holding him as a meat shield. Yep. Damn.
Where are you? Back here!
That's terrifying. What are they gonna do?
Yeah.
What are they gonna do?
Cassian, I've cleared a path.
Alan Tudyk, bless you. I love you.
Push the request. Push it now.
Wow.
Yo, that's an Imperial shuttle. Like,
And it's
should
just
we
abandoned.
Should we maybe check it out or? We got a big win here.
Yeah.
Everybody's out.
Holy shit. I thought for sure Clay was dead.
Make sure she stays awake.
Oh. That was blood in her eyes. She hit her head bad.
Yeah. But no, she's gonna be fine.
I assume any doubts about my value have been erased.
You didn't answer. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Kay. You did good.
The rebellion is bigger than all of us. And yet, when you feel it can be...
Hey.
If only you could fight, as well as you lie.
Yeah, the fumes have got to him.
The Sandor,
I believe so.
with a stolen ship, on an unsupervised mission. You can make that case. Incredible.
God, it's
Okay.
crazy how much just.
Makes the Senate look easy, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sure does.
Getting close, aren't we?
I suspect we'll be shot down as an enemy probe.
Shut up, Kay.
But disobeying orders is so refreshing.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. If you land now, you might avoid that problem. Oh, that's attack formation. S-foil's out. That's.
Comply with our specific commands will trigger immediate destruction.
I plan to tell him I was kidnapped.
Power down this ship, walk away, then power down yourself until further notice.
I have important news.
I certainly hope so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very, very important news. Yes, and tell it to them. Yep.
A thorn in our side since we began building this alliance.
Did you know him? Any of you?
Yeah.
This room, besides Senator Mothma, have any idea how much you owe him?
Oh, please.
When I say I know Luthen,
Oh, yeah.
what was wrong with him? I had a front row seat on that.
A front row seat on that, yeah.
I don't know if what he was told is true or not, but it's insulting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
To have given a fraction of his sacrifice to this rebellion.
Enough!
I have so much to say in the discussion about that last part there.
When he had me rescue Senator Mothma from the Senate.
Yeah, you're welcome.
A lot can happen in a year, wouldn't you agree? He stayed on Coruscant too long.
True, he did.
But now, Captain Andor, you are forbidden from accessing your ship.
Yeah.
Requesting permission to visit the infirmary.
Permission granted.
Yeah. I can see why Clea really, really didn't want to come here.
Yeah. A bunch of people in silk clothes talking about
I mean, not silk, but
Well.
but yes.
whatever their Star Wars equivalent or whatever.
Dang, yeah, she took a big hit then. Hey, yeah, sisters, okay.
They brought back some curious information.
Yeah.
Spy on him.
Help me believe him.
Validated.
Yeah. I like it.
Well, this is gonna lead to them actually reaching out to find Galen, then thus Jin. Oh. That familiar lighting.
Can't toast them all, can we?
It'd be expensive.
Gorn. Nemik.
Yeah.
Taramin.
Cinta. Yep.
Your mother.
Good one to end it on.
The Darnies.
Yeah. Nice little recap of our Or a series, yeah.
Mon wants to know if your Luthen story is real.
Yeah, just come straight out and say it. Yeah.
Tell me what she said.
Yep. Let's get all the details here. The story is spreading.
There'll be times when the struggle seems impossible. Alone, unsure, dwarfed by...
Yeah. Yeah.
Bringing it back.
All the way back.
And then remember this. The Imperial need for control is so desperate because it is so unnatural.
So unnatural.
It requires constant effort. It breaks.
This is great.
Ask of fear.
I'm assuming you've...
He was listening to it.
Wow.
Just keeps spreading, doesn't it?
It's been hard to contain.
Yep, the frontier is everywhere. You gotta turn it back on. Oh, shit. Wow. Wow.
Okay.
That simple.
Yeah. I love the just,
Yeah.
you know, just a little handout.
Yeah, we know what's happening here.
She wouldn't be safe with me.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's too late for that.
Yep. Ah. Oh. This is so perfect. We haven't heard her speak once since coming back here.
We've been released.
They threw us out.
Hey, cool.
Okay.
Do you trust him?
I try.
Is that the guy he meets with at the beginning?
Yeah, I think so.
This is all a trap. It's a brilliant way to spring it.
How do I get to Kafrin?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
this is the lead into the contact at the beginning of Rogue One. His sister, yeah. It's just wild to think that all this was because he was looking for his sister, you know?
Yeah, that's how it started.
General Draven has your orders. Proceed to your contact, learn what you can.
Awesome. Yeah.
May the Force be with you, Captain.
I was waiting for something like that. Something that break the mold of the Andor,
Right.
you know, stuff, and now we're in OG Star Wars now. We gotta say it. Once per project.
That's right.
So they said it once in the whole series. Counts. Yep, they're getting ready. Wow. This is the team that goes to Scarif, basically.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they were individually exact people that were on the Scarif landing team. Oh, I love that they've got their sisterhood now. They've got they're cousins, but they're just the two of them working together. It's
bonds that are surviving all the madness.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Sure, why not?
Why not?
I considered his situation already resolved, but yeah.
That's amazing. That's so funny. What a piece of shit.
So is Claire gonna survive this then?
What?
Yes!
Oh!
Holy shit!
They're still using that prison? Oh my god!
Hell, some of the shit that went down there might have been why the Death Star was behind schedule, you know?
Sure. I mean, things like that, yeah.
Right.
Rebellion is everywhere. Yeah, they're doubling down to make sure that we know exactly. Nice. Saw. Get that burdened walk.
Oh.
Captain of the Rebellion. Yeah.
All right.
There it is.
Get us out of here.
Wow. It leads
Right
directly
into
into Rogue One.
Yeah.
It's not even like
a
little time skip or anything. It's
Nope.
movie opens and it's just Here we go.
Yep.
Yeah! Oh, we
Hey.
didn't need this, but this is so appreciated.
You could go again.
Yeah,
Is this
here
where she is?
Yeah. Fix, yeah.
Oh, is that a baby?
Oh.
Oh, shit.
I'm getting Gladiator vibes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That was a very powerful emotional decision of how to end the series, yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's Andor.
That's Andor. Despite the like restrictions that were basically put on the characters by the confines of future, stuff in the timeline, it was really fun to feel that last bit of resistance towards things going smoothly from the people that you are going to be doing this rebellion with.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea that in the last little moments,
there's still.
It was almost that the Empire was more
bickering.
helpful than the rebellion for the rebellion's sake.
Oh, sure.
Like the very efforts of the rebellion had spread so far and down into every little detail that even as the power structure of the ISB just collapses entirely,
right?
Then it's just, you need to hear my story. You need to hear this story. The other thing that I love so much, and I just want to say it before we get through the episode, is the moment where he's like, and I'm not going to stand here, let this insult to his name, to his character go, if you don't sit here and at least acknowledge and appreciate what he did. I'm butchering the actual way Cassian said it, but it made me think of the sequel trilogy. Basically, the acknowledgement of, you all are going to sit there and insult what brought you here to be able to have these movies.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what was so wrong with the sequel trilogy.
Right.
Was that it basically insulted the road that got us here as if it was beneath those movies.
Yeah.
And then you look at actually the finished product of the sequel trilogies, and there's some great stuff in there. There's some great stuff in there. But as a whole...
Sure.
Yeah, the Swan Song, the final episode, the final goodbye
to a delightful piece of media.
Yeah, to a delightful story and all these characters that brought Cassian to where he is now, so that he can do what he was meant to do.
Right.
There's so many fun meta things about this episode, which is probably something that they chose to explore because of the limitations of the fact that they couldn't advance the plot that much now that they've gone through this point in the story.
Yeah.
Which is probably a little bit of a frustration that this show was made after Rogue One. Like, I'm sure Rogue One would have been better and elevated.
Absolutely.
If it had been allowed to be
if it was a sequel to this.
Well, basically, if it had allowed to be a show from the beginning and Tony Gilroy and everybody was allowed to be the creative minds behind it.
Right.
But yeah, it makes sense now why a lot of what happened in Rogue One happened the way it did. We have the full characterization for Cassian and the person who is willing to do whatever it takes for the rebellion, despite having the opportunity to put it all away and go find happiness. And the idea that at the end, Nemec's message, his manifesto, his
breakdown on why the Empire can't work.
Right.
Is listened to by Partagaz.
Well, yeah, but it's something that I'd say resounds through this episode as this was why it had to go this way. This was why the Empire couldn't win. This is why Cassian would always choose rebellion. This is why Cassian would be the person that, despite doing all this originally just to start in a quest to find his sister, leads him here. It feels almost akin, honestly, to Neo in the Matrix. Like it's he was going to see the problem with the system. He was going to fight against it. He was always going to resist. He was always going to choose this. And the meta fun bit about this is that we knew that because we watched Rogue One. We knew where the story was going to go.
The writing was on the walls.
Yeah, so the idea that Nemec, with his manifesto, calls out the unnatural aspects of the Empire and how it forces its own destruction through inciting rebellion.
Yep.
Because rebellion and just everything about it is just so pure. Yeah.
Whatever kind of rebellion you're able to manage, right? You know, whether it's something as simple as no, you know, Partagaz is not going to go and let himself get executed publicly or whatever. He's gonna go out on his own terms.
Yeah, he's going to have his own little act of rebellion. Yeah.
Right. And I love that the guy that came to get him, one, that it was that dude, because that's one of those dudes that's kind of always been like there, but you know, was never really like an in-depth character. But the idea that he totally gets it. Like, he understands what the situation is, you know, and even when the blaster shot, you know, rings out, just he's not surprised by it at all. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I love, too, just the idea of them saying it just keeps spreading, doesn't it? Because they're not talking about the message. They're talking about the rebellion. They're talking about this, like, idea. And even if this manifesto has gone out to a bunch of places and stuff, it's not the point. We get this beautiful vision of these two old men who remember the Republic.
Yeah.
They remember everything from before. They chose this for whatever reason.
Yep.
For whatever kind of inhumane reason or what have you, or whether they were in some kind of organization that was basically like this already.
Sure.
And then they just got adopted and had new management.
Got put into a higher position of power.
Yeah. We now see them grappling with the gravity of all this. And yeah, it's that simple. You're expendable. You're nothing.
You will be done away with when you've outlived your usefulness.
Yeah. And then Cassian, trying to constantly avoid his usefulness, trying to constantly run from everything that he can do in this, because even as he rebels naturally against the tyranny and fear and everything that gets thrown his way, he would prefer happiness. He'd prefer to go just live with Bix and his child.
Yep.
But no, this has to be done. This has to be done. And thus Luthen is the one everyone's burning a torch for. Everyone's basically lighting up a memorial, fire for, is that if it wasn't for him,
Cassian would not be here.
Yeah, Cassian wouldn't be here. Cassian wouldn't be doing any of this. But if Cassian wasn't here, then the rebellion wouldn't have been able to do these things. And if the rebellion wouldn't be able to do this, we wouldn't get Luke Skywalker blowing up the Death Star and saving everything. And there's something so fun about the way you can write a story like this retroactively to add all that context.
Yes.
In a way that feels satisfying, despite knowing that all of this is destined to succeed,
Right, yeah, it would be very easy for it to not feel like there's much stakes or payoff because, and now it gets to the point where we always knew it would be, but.
Right. And that's what's kind of fun about like the final scene of him walking is then he acknowledges the not Jedi, but the Force healer basically, who's like, hey, this is where you're going.
Right.
And she's basically like the meta acknowledgement of all the fans who are in tap with all the Force stuff. And we're like,
it's like, all right,
we see the destiny on you.
And you're on the main character track now, for a bit.
Right. But when she sees him, she doesn't smile. It's just the
it's the acknowledgement.
It's the, oh shit, he is going, this will be the last time I, probably see him.
Sure.
Maybe, it does come back to Yavin, but
but whatever destiny thing that I felt or whatever,
there it is.
There it is.
He's doing it.
Yep.
So in a lot of ways, this episode felt very meta to me.
Yes, it was something that I feel like this episode for sure has to be I think about it very differently from the other episodes of the show.
Yeah.
Because it's less about doing the story of Andor and more about being the episode that is the glue, between Andor and Rogue One.
Right.
The idea that the rebellion was so resistant to the information that they were bringing, I feel like there's a bit of commentary, on human nature in there somewhere, that definitely it's like, oh man, that's frustrating. But yeah, they get there eventually because of outside influences.
Right. It's the thing of where, if you're going to be someone who sees that the ends justify the means, you will get shit done, but you won't necessarily make many friends along the way.
Sure.
And the idea that the rebellion for Bail Organa, for Mon Mothma, for a lot of the ones that are coming in here from the large scale sides of things here, they came into an already active rebellion.
Right.
And so the acknowledgement that, yes, we're headed towards a new era where people like Luthen are not needed in a lot of ways.
And
that's the part
not
that's gotta
helpful, at this point,
right? Right. But just in acknowledging that this era is gone, we can't then get mad at them for not acknowledging the era that came before, because it's not what you want a medal.
Yeah.
Like really, do you want to be up there with Luke and Han and Chewie and everybody in the end of episode 4? Do you need that? No? Okay. We're all doing this. We're all putting our lives on the line here. Like it's the thing of where, yes, we need to have them acknowledge the stuff that's good here, but there was so much pain just vicariously in the idea that it wasn't that they weren't going to take the info and at the very least double check on it like tomorrow or what have you.
Right.
But it's it's Luthen. Then we have to go through all of our usual stuff where we have to double check and triple check everything to make sure we're not getting manipulated to send ourselves into a thing where we'll kill more people and he might get what we want here and stuff. But we want our little pocket of rebellion to last until next week. So it's just fun that
I'm gonna make a connection point here that might be reaching a little bit.
Sure.
The rebellion organization that Cassian returned to and gave the info to functioned very similar to the Empire. And I'm not talking about on like big picture organizational level, but as far as the actions of the individuals that comprise the organization,
communication,
because if we think about Dedra and Partagaz and that whole situation, right? There's the element of, I am caught up in the wake of something bigger than myself. And while in, with the early adopters like Luthen and Cassian or whatever helping to make the rebellion grow, that can be like a galvanizing force. Right. But when you have something larger than yourself, well, that's what the Empire is, and that's scary, and that tends to crush things, right? And, the notion that there will not be injustices along the way that happen once you get to that kind of a scale, that's fanciful thinking, right?
Sure.
And so a lot of the things that the ISB people were doing towards the end as everything's going to shit is I'm trying to ensure my own survival, right? And I would posit that one of the biggest issues with what the rebellion was doing here with when Cassian brought them the info is they're trying to ensure their own survival, right? Now, there's very good reasons for that. Saw talking about, rebellion is not for the sane.
Right.
There are issues with Saw that are very apparent and very well known by all the people gathered here, right?
He's the true paranoid, delusional one.
Yeah.
But he's not insane.
Right.
And they can even acknowledge that with Saw, that it's like, no, we have been trying to infiltrate him for a year now.
Right. Yeah.
He's not paranoid about that.
That is an
actual correct thing, and that's why we know he's on Jedha. It's like, thank you. That's actually amazing.
Yeah. No. I'm not going to let their no, that wouldn't be.
Well, it's the point that Saw is effective in that he's doing what he's doing, but yes, because of the way that we've not been capable of collaborating with him, we've kind of turned against him a little bit and even forced him down that paranoid delusional path a little bit.
Absolutely.
But we do need him a little bit. Whereas Luthen failed.
Right.
He messed up.
We don't need
dead.
him anymore.
Well, there's nothing to get anymore.
Yeah.
So at this point, we have to cut off our losses as well.
Right.
So it's so why did he die? Maybe it was because of this info. Maybe this info has something to do. So, you have to take it with a grain of salt.
And so the very, now that the rebellion's going, the very thing that is making these people try and focus on their own survival is the very thing that the Imperial people are doing that helps the Empire keep going, and is also probably what allowed the Empire to come about in the first place, because you have the people who, when scary stuff is happening, they're too afraid to speak up, they like, and so, oh, hey, human nature will do its thing. And so that feels grounding in a, like, kind of depressing, but also like, potentially encouraging way that, yeah, even in something like this where you can have the rebellion where we're, going to go into Rogue One that will then go into A New Hope, right?
Winning, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah. Where you have all of the idealism in that film, right? And, the concepts being embodied. Yeah, no, it's still going to be comprised of a lot of scared people that, would, if situations were different, if they were not in, say, the rebellion, right? And I'm, they would have their own reasons for having joined it and all that stuff. But in a lot of ways, the reasons for joining it, it would have been just another survival thing, right?
Well, that's not it. That's a little bit derivative. I get where you're coming from here, but the Mon Mothma, Bail Organa, like a lot of that stuff was actually like sticking their neck out.
Yes.
They could have happily, quietly just bathed in the luxury of their position and privilege, and never had really any issues necessarily in their lifetime with the Empire.
Ben Mon Mothma's husband, with that, random little bit to conclude his story that we get.
I love the idea that whatever Davik or whatever,
whatever his name was,
his wife and Mon Mothma's husband are cheating on each other. Just yes, you deserve each other. Go in your own little spot there. I always
drink some of that, whiskey or whatever.
Yeah, I always suspected of some things that were just a little bit off about him with regards to like the way that he was like not just treating Mon Mothma, but the way that he was still kind of playing a game with her in a lot of ways.
Okay.
Like it wasn't so obvious that they were already completely done as far as
Oh yeah, that like this is
like he had more to lose if he wasn't like careful and stuff.
Right. Their marriage was a thing of bureaucracy, not of relationship.
Well, yeah. I'm just bringing up the fact that I felt like there was something more that he had to lose beyond that. That was why he interacted with her in certain cases, not just like, ugh, we have to put up with this, Like he would kind of have like mood swings, and I was like, what is that? There's something there, and and so the idea that he might have just been
cheating on her the whole time.
Gotcha.
Okay, because I was just thinking that it's just something of he's this shallow of a person that his wife runs away. All right, well, moving on.
No,
like,
I get the vibe. It was more that he was cheating on her for
I think
quite a while.
that does make a lot more sense.
They were in like a very comfortable, safe, like relaxed kind of thing.
Yes.
That was not the like we're in the act of passion or what have you. It's the like yes, it's you and me. But
both drinking away our sorrows and misery.
Before we go on that tangent, though, bringing up the Mon Mothma, Bail Organa, they did not do this out of survival. They did not do this. Like that is fundamentally different to what they were doing here.
Sure.
They were doing this out of the idealism that they could resist through their political influence.
Right.
Which was the fun thing where they were trying to hold onto their position and be effective. And over the course of this story, they realized that they had to throw away their safety.
Yep.
Put themselves underneath direct risk in order to be effective.
Right.
They basically learned accidentally from Luthen the point that was made there, and yet Luthen in a lot of ways was the biggest, like, not hypocrite, but the biggest the biggest double dipper of them all, in that he had the false identity that was safe, and yet it was all a lie because none of it was safe. And then at any moment, anything could have gone slightly wrong, and the whole thing would have collapsed.
Right, and he was...
But he was willing to actually risk all that.
And he was pouring enough gas on the fire that it was a matter of time for that to happen, rather than a question of whether that would happen. And because that was maybe something that was at the forefront of, I don't know, his mind, or, because he was so resolved in it, there isn't that, like, I've done my thing. Now I'm in a pretty comfy place. I don't want to jeopardize this, you know.
Right. It's the thing of where when Cassian says, you know, it's insulting to hear you all who've given only a fraction of his sacrifice to the rebellion, like, talking about him this way. What I think Cassian is kind of inferring here by the thing of, like, did any of you know him?
Right.
Like, basically, do you all realize, like, Luthen has been at this for, like, over a decade? Like, y'all are new. Welcome. We don't need to go into like a pissing match as to like who's given more here. But the idea that you would throw away something potentially so like filled with weight and value
cheap
because of past issues and stuff like that.
It's cheap for you to be able to say, you know, this, you know, active field intel is, you know, hearsay or whatever is dangerous. When it's like, no, you've never been in an active field situation in your life, probably. You have no, like, you're speaking about something that you don't actually understand.
Yeah, the only one here, well, I mean, obviously some of them have, but the one who's been in the one that's most directly connected to this is the one that's only here alive because Luthen made a dangerous, reckless call to get her out of there.
Right.
And while they'll never know that Bale's attempt, while he was trying to do the same thing, was entirely compromised. Like, no one will ever know that.
Yeah.
That's just a fun example of how Mon Mothma's agency, with everything with Vel, like, ties into this, and thus it created just a nice little bit of intrigue in an episode that was altogether basically about, like, kind of signing off on the story.
Yeah, exactly.
It allowed some... It allowed some dramatic tension where there didn't need to be, but we wanted to explore in a lot of ways the flaws in the humanity of even the rebellion.
Yeah,
which is what Luthen was the embodiment of to the umpteenth degree.
Exactly. It wasn't about the actual stakes of whether or not they would end up getting the info, because we know they get the info. It's the what wonderful colors and sides of themselves will they show on the way to get there, and with how, you know, resistant they are to the help that is being offered. But yeah.
I am glad that we never have the moment to just shift things at the top of here. I'm glad we never had the moment of let's load on a transport and go to Alderaan with a bunch of characters that we are never going to see again because they weren't written before. You know,
there was that part of me that's like, wait, Bale's still on Yavin?
Well, no, he's there with regards to Rogue One stuff too. Like,
okay.
Like it's there's a tie-in with that in the movie, which might be a cool thing potentially to watch after this show now. Like, we'll see if we actually end up just watching it our own time or what have you. Yeah. But I love that we didn't have that as these characters are all just dead, you know?
Bye,
you know?
One thing I will say, though, the callbacks to the show as a whole in this episode I thought were really good. Whether it's the manifesto or Dedra ending up in the same prison block. Well, maybe not the same block, but, you know, the same prison.
The same prison on the same, like, moon or planet.
Yeah, exactly. That Cassian escaped from. And so now she is, well, you know, going from being the person behind the desk to literally someone who will be, you know, worked as a slave until she drops dead or whatever.
Until the rebellion saves her.
Right. To finish this Death Star thing that she's been working on, right? Like she's still working on bringing the Death Star about, but just from a very different position.
I mean, the Death Star gets brought about in about like a week anyway. So the thing that I'm most kind of excited about is that it's the Star Wars is an ever-evolving beast of a media machine. And now that Disney's at the helm here, there's a lot of side stories that you, even as probably a super Star Wars fan, or I as a pretty big Star Wars fan, don't even know exists.
Sure.
Like, there's so many little things and stuff like that. And
certainly don't have the time to consume them all.
No, of course. But, you know, someone does. But the idea that there's so many little side stories that naturally spin off of this that don't feel unwarranted, despite it being so closed of a story. I would totally read a graphic novel of Dedra eventually getting rescued by, you know, the Empire falls and, you know, the, you know, rebellion basically ends up sending people to tons of different places and there's a mass liberation and then she's going through the identity crisis of, well, who am I now? What is going on? She starts hearing the call of the First Order or something. And it's like, wait, do I want even to be a part of that? Like, there's so many things they could do with that.
And her role in the Death Star being brought about and all that stuff is, I totally see how that could fit as, like, the main character's secret that they don't want
Yeah.
people to know because,
Right.
oh my God, they were a terrible person.
No, I know. It's
Yeah.
super evocative and interesting. Like,
Yeah.
in a lot of ways, Dedra and Cyril, yes, rest in peace, you know, they were such a lovely experiment of Star Wars characters that I'm almost just happy that she only was taken to prison, you know?
Right,
like,
exactly,
I'm like,
yeah.
she lived.
Uh-huh.
And with how
Yay.
Star Wars loves, you know, glup shido type characters, where it's like, we can bring them back and use them later or any kind of stuff and things like that.
Yeah.
I'm genuinely in the like, yep, I will. Yeah, I would eat up that graphic novel. I'd read that comic.
And Cyril, you went out like a champ because you were killed off in a narratively poetic fashion, even though it was unceremonious. And now you won't have to deal with any of that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So for our experimental characters that absolutely succeeded in every way,
Yes.
we applaud the show and everybody that works on it to make those kinds of aspects really well like honed in. But I just gotta say, I love Bix so much this second season. The way that she was upgraded as a character a lot from season one. Because season one, she was definitely an important character.
But she was very much a side character.
She was very not
not
yes,
even
a side
side
character. I'm talking like a very small
Yeah.
character in the grander scheme of things. But the way that she was used as a character here, the way that her and Cassian's relationship was doomed to fail, the way that it sets up even a lot of the really sad aspects of Cassian's, almost even looking back at Rogue One, like uncharacteristic attachment to Jyn back in the movie. Like, I never really liked their relationship. It's probably just because in a lot of ways I felt Jyn was undercooked as a character.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because all of the Rogue One cast was undercooked.
Oh, yeah.
Intentionally.
Yes, the better executed on characters were the ones that were able to more cleanly fit into an archetype, basically, since they didn't have time to properly cook them.
Right. So, in a lot of ways, I feel like Bix and her character's existence, obviously it establishes a lot more with Cassian, but I think it establishes a lot more of why Cassian ends up even like remotely falling for Jyn, because of how close he was to being free of all this and finding happiness. And Bix basically chose, no, in my little last act of rebellion, I'm going to
make sure
I'm going to
stick
take
this out.
I'm going to take that choice away from you. And it's tragic. It's beautiful, and it fits so well with the idea that we know Cassian, spoiler alert, is going to die in Rogue One along with everybody else. It just adds so much meaning to that. And then the idea that in this episode where they're trying to help Luthen's desires and goals live on, Cassian lives on in a lot of ways through Bix and her kid. Like that's just so beautiful.
Goddamn, Clea survives. I was not expecting that.
Oh my God.
I thought for sure she was
dead
as a
she was
doornail.
gonna die too.
Like I was like, all right, the blaster bolts are gonna home in on that.
Another character
meat
I'd read a
carcass,
graphic
you know?
novel about.
Sure.
Clay is a fantastic character to do a spin-off little thing about.
Although I like her as a person too much to want her to have a graphic novel, because I want her to have the peaceful ending of fantastic. You did your thing, you helped, and now you're done. Whereas Dedra, I love her as a character, but dislike her enough as a person that I'm like, yes,
burn a little bit more. No.
Get more suffering out of that.
I'm totally with you. Dedra burns very brightly in a very fun way.
Yes.
Clea, I don't want to see burn anymore. She's tired. I'd love for her to have some peace. But that being said, of all the characters that are left open as far as things go here, I would say I want Clea's story of her helping alongside things in a like, where was Clea during, Return of the Jedi? Like,
sure.
I would eat that shit up.
Yeah.
I very much think that it's incredible that Star Wars, the original trilogy, came out, 48 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, 48 years ago. And some of these characters are timeless, right? But these characters in Andor, some of them are already feel so timeless to me that I could see them fitting right alongside some of the scrappy rebellion characters.
I want to see the graphic
original
novel
trilogy.
where Dedra ends up being saved by the rebellion, ends up becoming part of the rebellion, and it's the like, oh wow, this person is really good at like taking charge and doing information analysis and stuff. It's like, the way they are they an Imperial defector or something? Sure,
It seems like they were,
yeah, more or less, right? And it's actually just, no, I got fucked over by the Empire and thrown in a cell, and then I got out and it's like, all right, well, these are the skills that I have, these are the tools at my disposal. Okay, let's see if I can use them.
One last kind of just shout out for the show is just the character of Cassian being somebody who actually feels like the type of theme that they were trying to explore in other Star Wars media, of the idea that anybody in this universe could be the hero that the galaxy needs.
Yes.
And Cassian did have like a lot of little things conveniently lined up for him.
Oh yeah, that little bit of secret sauce. Yeah.
But he could have been anybody.
Right.
And I genuinely feel that so much more now that we're having him hit his "this is my destiny" moment. And I'm like, oh, he was anybody.
Yep.
And I think that the show did a really, really, really good job of that.
Yes.
By showing how different he was from all the characters that surrounded him.
Yeah.
It
was great.
So that's the end of Andor.
And now it's over. It's done.
Yeah. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next thing's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions. Then all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about Star Wars, Andor, what have you. And also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. See if any of that interests you. We'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.